there are times you can do the right thing in the wrong wind. Okay? Some of the things I tried didn't work because I didn't study the trend. I studied the plane, but I didn't study the trend and the wind that's necessary. Success has a lot to do with wind. If Colonel Sanders came along today and started KFC today, he'd go broke. Because today we're all worried about, carbs and fat grams and all this stuff. I'm a vegetarian, all of this stuff. We're reading the labels and all of that stuff. But he started his business at a time that women had just gone to work and families were used to home-cooked meals. His business solved a problem. The stats say that people who go into business because they want money are apt to go out of business 80% of the time. People who go into business who are successful don't go into business based on their need, they go into business based on their customers' need. If your business or church or ministry solves a problem, it requires less marketing. You don't have to talk me into wanting something I need. But when I don't need it, you got to spend a whole lot of money talking me into something. So you want your business to be a solution. In fact, you want your life to be a solution. Nobody sends for a problem, they only send for an answer. If you're feeling lonely and you're feeling rejected, figure out how you can be an answer to somebody's problem and they'll always invite you. Because people invite answers, they repel problems. So when you come in the room giving problems, it is the most unsexy thing you can ever do in the world.
It's true.
Somebody far less cute can get much further than you because they don't moan and groan and complain. Really, when people ask you how you're doing, they don't really want an answer. We're not serious. Don't sit down there, well, I'm doing fairly well, but my knee is hurting and my back has been hurting from time to time. And when it rains, my eye starts twitching. I got a little pain going on right here. It's driving me absolutely crazy. And I just don't know what in the world I'm going to do because I got a thumbnail growing over here. It's just that's why I didn't wear the shoes I want to wear with this stretch. Get out of here, get out of here, crazy.
Bring solutions.
Bring solutions.
Bring solutions.
Bring solutions as a person. Bring solutions as a business. Bring solutions as a ministry. And you will always soar. But when I say tougher, your resilience and your resistance to the irrelevance of things that have nothing to do with your destiny. When I first started writing this book, I thought I was writing that entrepreneurship was about a business and a company and an address and a location and getting a building or a facility or starting an E-Corp from your laptop or something like that. But when I got to writing it, while I was writing it, not when I started, while I was writing it, I realized it was a mindset. It's a mindset. It's the way you think about things. It's taking control of your destiny. See, if I come to work for you, and I would, if I come and work for you.
You would?
Oh yeah, I would, yeah. I come teach your Sunday school class. Yeah, let you have the problems I teach the class. Yeah, that's a great deal. You can decide what you're going to pay me as an employer to an employee, but you can't decide how much I'm going to make. We have turned our income over into the hands of somebody who has no vision for our need.
Right.
Okay. You can pay me whatever you think the job is worth, but you can't pay me what I'm worth. You can't afford me. So I can have all of these multiple streams of income to subsidize your limitations.
Right.
Because if I have an entrepreneurial spirit, I am not limited like an eaglet to waiting for the mother bird to drop food in my mouth. Being an entrepreneur means that I have lifted up into the air and found my own wings.
You know, I'm so glad you said that because I don't think you're talking about claiming our rights as much as taking responsibility for our own lives.
Absolutely.
It's a different mindset.
Absolutely. It's about taking control of outcomes. It's about not allowing your destiny to be controlled by your circumstance or your situation. It's about getting a vision for where you want to be in your life, with your family, with your children, and setting a goal and dropping off things that are not relevant to where you are trying to go, so that you can focus on what is necessary, so that you can have some spoils to divide, so that you can send your kids to a college, so that you can figure out where you want to live when you're old and how you want to die. This is not about diamonds and gold and Rolls Royces, unless that's what your vision is. This is about choosing where you want to go. If it's a cottage in the hills of West Virginia in a log cabin and you want to die with chickens in your backyard, that's your business. It's your life. It's your business. It's your business. It's your thing. Do what you want to do. That's what this is about. Okay. So whenever preachers start talking about anything other than preaching, religious people just...
What do they do? That's what they do.
Yeah, they do. You know, but let me tell you something. The reason I must do this, because I serve a people who have a prayer list full of things that God doesn't do. Half of the things they're asking God to do is tables and chairs. And he does trees. If they could catch what I'm talking about, we could go to praying about stuff that really matters. About the kingdoms of this world becoming the kingdoms of our God and of his Christ. We can start praying about North Korea and what's going on over there in the Middle East. We can start praying about things that would change the world, about cleaning up the air and cleaning up the water and leaving this planet better than we found it. We can start praying about things that would change the world, the way we interact with people. We can start praying about things that brought crack out of people's arms and delivered them and set them free and set them on a street called straight. I'm tired of praying about rent and house payments and car payments and school bills and college tuition. God doesn't do that. You do that. Let's soar. Let's soar. Spread your wings. It's time to soar. It's time to soar. We inspire people.
Right.
Every Sunday morning.
We
inspire them. Every Sunday, oh, I see you do it. Don't try to wiggle out of it. But if we inspire people and we don't inform them for Monday, then they'll just come on Sunday to get high. And I thought, I need a way to get beyond preaching everything's gonna be all right, it's gonna be all right, every Sunday it's gonna be all right, it's gonna be all right, and show you how to make it all right. Show you how to make it all right. You talked about the cost of hesitation. You can't understand hesitation if you don't understand rhythm. Everything's done in a rhythm. So God says, the day you hear my voice, do it in the rhythm. Harden not your heart. Because there is no guarantee that you can do later what you can do today. You break the rhythm. And what would have flowed is now off. The enemy comes to break the rhythm. So when you talk about hesitation, you're really talking about Satan. Because he's a rhythm breaker. He can't stop God from gifting you, calling you, blessing you. He cannot even curse you because God has blessed you. The only way he can sabotage you is to get you to break the rhythm. When you do break the rhythm, you have to repent. You have to repent. Not just because of sin, you have to repent because you missed the rhythm to do the right thing. There is a timing factor on everything. And every time we break a rhythm, it has consequences. When God gives you your next opportunity, move. Move. The agony of life is to sit in a place of movement. You spoke of hesitation, but the word that leaped in my spirit that I wanted to leave with you is frustration. I think that there are people in this room who are frustrated. And you try to make yourself feel content, and you feel guilty that you're not content, and you say, I ought to be thankful for what I have. And like me, you're trying to use rationale to put up with the situation that you're not called to. And what keeps needling you is, I belong up there. And yet I'm stuck right here. And there you are in a place of movement, watching other people take off. And wondering what in the world is wrong. That frustration is God nudging you. That he has placed you in a position of movement. And if you are not moving, something is broken. And I want you to understand this. There are people who stay on the ground and they're happy to be there because they never imagined themselves in the air. But you are not one of them. You are not one of them. You go to the airport with people who love you. But when you get to the checkout point, they can't go beyond it because if you don't have a ticket, you can't go beyond that point. Some folks you have to leave behind that you love because they have not paid the price to go into the next dimension. You understand what I'm saying? Don't you get on the runway now and get stuck on the runway and tell yourself it's all right. It's not all right because you belong in the air, whatever that air is. There's somebody watching on the campus or streaming or sitting in the balcony or sitting out here in front of me right now. You got a dream. You got a vision. I won't lie to you, it's gonna cost you everything. You're gonna hurt in places you didn't know you could hurt, and you're gonna have 1,000 chances to give up, but don't do it. Keep on moving. I tried to leave some tips about who you need around you so that you can pick your associates more carefully because it does have something to do with your success. I tried to speak to your need to have a rhythm so that you cannot lounge around here and let this moment pass you by. You are not as young as you think you are. You don't have as long as you think you have. It takes longer to settle something big than you think. You're thinking in days, I'm talking in decades. You don't have many. If you don't do it now, you'll never do it. Because you may not ever see that cycle come back again. The only reason Saul wanted to kill David is that he was mad because he missed his turn. Touch everybody you can reach and tell them, do not miss your turn.